They host the Schuylkill Valley Panthers here at UDA, and should be a nice evening for a ball game. Boy, the field looks great for the limited amount of rain that we've had. They've really taken care of this football field here at UDA, and it looks really, really good. Very green, and if it doesn't look green on your TV, see me about that. Probably need a picture too. No, anyway, we are ready to go here now as the co-captains meet out at the midfield. Looks as though the Panthers have won the toss and have elected to receive. Panthers and the Trojans in uniforms that really look like two Trojan football teams out here. So anyway, the Trojans will get it on here in just a moment now as we're set for the kickoff to open up this brand new season here now. We're looking for the Trojan boys to get a little offense going here tonight as they have some powerful passers out here in both Matt Loshen and Stephen Green. Matt will get the starting call tonight, and we hope the very best for Matt as he tries to get this offense cranked up. But first of all, of course, the Trojan defense on the field now. They're going to have to perform first, and we hope that they can stop these Panthers. The punter out there for UDA, or the kickoff man, I should say, for UDA is number, well, let's see. I see his 8, but that's all I can see. Joe Clark, number 28, will do the kicking for UDA as we get ready for this opening kick. Not a very big crowd here at all for this opener. Schuylkill Valley being a non-league ball game. And next week we'll have a bigger crowd, I'm sure, down at Millersburg. But let's see if the Trojans get off on the right foot tonight here as Joe gets his foot into this one, kicks it all the way down here to the 17-yard line. And up the middle he comes with it all the way out, still on his feet, and the ball came loose and the Trojans have it. So the first break of this early ball game goes to the UDA Trojans, as coming up with that football, that time number 42 for the Trojans. And he picked that one off nicely as he was hit and fumbled it up here at the 43-yard line of Schuylkill Valley. So the Trojans with the first break of the ball game. Now let's see if we can capitalize on that. Lotion there to call the signals. He will have lined up in the backfield. Clark lines up at the fullback spot, and Tweedy behind him. Handoff is to Eddie. Eddie up the middle with a good yardage all the way down and struggles to the 30-yard line. A first down on a 12-yard carry by Tweedy, and so it is a first down for UDA. Nice run that time by Twee. 32 Austin Markle checking into the ball game for UDA. He replaces Eddie. And Marco will line up as the tailback this time behind Clark. Loesch hands it off. Marco with it. Gain of about 2 down to the 28-yard line. It'll be second down and 8. A gain of 1 on the last play. It is second down and 9. This time Loesch will hand it off to Markle. Markle down the middle of the field, all the way down to the 15-yard line. Another first down on a nice run by Austin Markle, and some good blocking on that offensive line for UDA that time to open up a nice hole for Austin, and he was able to scoot on through there. Nice play. Ball is on the 15-yard line of the Schuylkill Valley. First and 10. Jason Jeffries, a flanker on the far side of the field. And this time it is lined up in there with Eddie back in as the running back. Eddie has the call. Up the middle he goes. Another good blocking down to inside the 10 perhaps. We'll see where they spot it. Looks slightly inside the 10. Another fine run there by UDA. Tweedy that time with a nice run. And boy, getting some key offensive line blocking in there. So the Trojans at the 9. Handoff up this way comes Markle. Markle will dive it down to the 6. Picking up a couple. We'll see where they spot it. Picked up 4. Bring a third and about a yard or so for the first down. And 6 to go for a touchdown. Trojans doing some excellent blocking in there on that offensive line. That's a really good sign. 63 is the center on the ball club. We'll pick up these guys here as we go along. Loesch tries to keep it for the first down, and he's got the first down and maybe another yard, as he'll give the Trojans a 1st and goal on this very first series. Matt Loesch, big boy, he's a senior, and he's a big one. And he just leaned himself in there for about 4 yards, and it makes it a first down and goal from the 2. 2nd and goal from the 2. Flankers go wide on either side of the field. Eddie, 33, back in there as the tailback behind Joe Clark. Loesch hands it off. Eddie around this side. It's Eddie, good for 6. Twee Eddie banging over here, and again some good line play in there by those Trojans. And you got to know, and I beg your pardon, the fellas got off to the side here for their congratulations. There's a piece of the wall in my way here. 2-yard plunge for 6. So we'll see if the Trojans have an extra point to play here now as they lead early, 6-0. 32 Markle. Austin Markle will be in to attempt the extra point. And we'll see a kind of a snap. We get good snap. Placement's down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And the Trojans lead now 7-0. And way to go, boys. 29 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. The Trojans on top, 7-0. Be back with the Trojan kickoff in just a moment. Well, Joe's got it teed up again here now as the Trojans get set to kick off following their first touchdown of the brand new season on their first series. And that should pump these boys up pretty good here. Now let's see if we can get them back deep. Here's the kick. It's going to go over on the far side here, taken at the 9-yard line or 8. And up the field he comes with it and is tackled out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Number 18 for UDA coming up with a stop in there for the Trojans. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Schuylkill Valley Panthers. Motter come up with a stop that time. Not sure about that. We'll have to check that later. Here's the first play now from series. And he'll drive over the left side and gets a couple of yards out to around the 37-yard line. Picking up about 4 on that play. We got to the 39, I beg your pardon, and picked up 5. It'll be, it's a long 5, almost 6. The 2nd down and long 4. Stay back here a little bit this time and watch everybody in their play. Quarterback wants to throw. He gets away from a couple of people. Some good pursuit coming up there. He'll pass it downfield. It is complete to number 2 out here. Well, the Trojans in hot pursuit that time, chasing the quarterback around. Finally gave him a lot of room to throw when he hit number 2. Chris Bissell out here, and was enough for the first down. So the ball is at the 49-yard line now of the Panthers, 1st and 10. Playing right on in front of us here at good old UDA. 1st and 10. Single set in the backfield. Motion our way. And the quarterback keeps it. Up the middle he goes with it. Some good running room and more. He may go all the way. He will go all the way. A 51-yard touchdown for the Panthers, and it's a 7-6 ball game. So the Panthers come up with 6 quickly here in the first quarter. And they're going to try the extra point. They will attempt to kick the extra point for Schuylkill Valley also. Here, let's see what they do. Placement's good. Kick is up. Kick is good, I believe, and we're tied up 7-up. So with 6:59 remaining here in the first quarter of the ball game, Both teams offensive-minded tonight. It's tied up 7-all. Markle and Eddy back to receive the kick for UDA. It is Eddy on the near side and Austin Markle on the far side of the field. So let's see if Austin or Twee can break one here and get us some good field position. First kick of the ball game. Be number 89 for the Panthers kicking this one off, and here it comes. It's a low bounding kick. Gonna run around over on the far side, and Austin Markle fell on it, the 20. So the Trojans will put it in play now with 80 yards to go here. So in the first series for either team, the team score. So let's see what happens here now as Loesch goes to work from the 20. He's throwing one. A screen pass over here complete to Markle. Markle eludes one guy and gets out to the 20-yard line and got nothing out of that for his effort. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Get Markle open a little more deeply down the field, and Loesch can hit him for sure. He can throw if he gets his chances. As Markle will check out of the ball game now. Joe Clark back in there for UDA. So it's a 2nd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Up the middle with it goes Twee for a couple of yards. Diving out to maybe the 22 or 3. We'll see. Now to the 22 rather. 2-yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 8. Big play here for UD. Pitches back over there for Markle. Markle being pursued along the left side over there, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage. Not much protection that time for Austin as he tried to string it out on the right side. But Panthers were right there to cut it off, and so it'll be 4th down and a punting situation for the Trojans for the first time tonight. Freeze there to punt. He gets a good snap. And the kick, nice high floating kick taken here at the 47. And he'll dive ahead here now to the Trojan 42-yard line, where the Panthers will put it in play. 1st and 10 in Trojan territory. Well, that Trojan defensive line going to have to really tighten it up in here now. 56 in there for UDA. I just got my sheet of people and jerseys, and all of a sudden there's no 56 on it. Oh well. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 on the 42. Passing, firing one down the side. Man is out there. It is incomplete. Defending on the play, number 40 for UDA. Pass to number 2 out there, but out of play and incomplete, and so it'll be 2nd and 10. Now that Zach the Ripper Smeltz is number 56 out there calling the defensive signals for UDA. Here's a 2nd and 10. And over this side goes 26, and he is finally grabbed back there as Eddy brings him down along with Smeltz. And it is a 1st down for the Panthers at the 31-yard line. 4 minutes, 25 seconds. The clock moving here in the first quarter, all tied up 7-all. And the Panthers trying to get a drive together here. And right now they've got a 1st and 10 at the UDA 31. The field, as I said, in excellent shape here for this ball game. Those hash marks out in the middle of the field area really help. And we got a delay. Yep, delay of the game. So that'll back the Panthers up 5 and make it a 1st and 15. Penalty moves back to the 30, but the 37-yard line was a 6-yard penalty. Anyway, here we go on a first down play. Passing over this way. It is complete. And he's going to be tackled by several Trojans over here struggling to get him, including Jeffries and Clark. In on the stop over here. It'll be 2nd and 6. Gain of about 9 on that play. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Ball now spotted at the 27-yard line. And timeout called by Schuylkill Valley. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. We're all tied up 7-0. Okay, the Panthers' timeout is over. And we're looking at a 2nd down and 6. In motion goes 2. He's got the ball. Look, can we cut him off over there by Jeffrey? No, this kid is fast and goes around the left side over there as Jeffrey's in pursuit, but just couldn't catch him. That number 2 is fast. And the Trojans unable to catch him before he gains yardage all the way down to the 15-yard line of UDA. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Panthers on the Trojan 15-yard line. Panthers on the move. Or is it on the prowl? Whatever Panthers do. Anyway, here they go on a 1st and 10 from the 15. Motion comes over this way this time. Quarterback looking as though he'd like to pass. Gets a fat pass off down to the 4-yard line. Trojans in pursuit that time, but they just couldn't catch him. These guys are quick back there. And it's a 1st and goal now to the 4-yard line of UDA. So the Panthers definitely really pawing at the Trojans right now. Inside of 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. First and goal from the 4. 26, and this time they stop him for no gain on that play. Nice hit in there made by number 64 and Smelts, Zach the Ripper in there. And 64, Tony Hoover, Anthony Tony Hoover making the stop in there. Good job that time. 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Okay, now we'll see what happens here on a 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Quarterback looks like he wants to throw, dumps one into the end zone. Complete. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Panthers. Fired that one right over Drew Barter out there. And the young fellow was able to catch it. So here's 13-7 with an extra point try coming up here for the Panthers. Smith will try the PAT for the Panthers. Placement's down, kick is up, kick is good. And so we've got the Schuylkill Valley Panthers in the lead now by a score of 14-7 with 1:55 left to play here in the first quarter. Again now to receive this kick. Eddie and Markle back to receive this one. And we'll see which one of these boys might get. The last time they kicked a little squib kick that went out of bounds over around the 20-yard line. Now let's see what they do this time. Another low line drive kick. Let's see. Picked up here by Eddie. Eddie picks it up at the 20, and he's still going and on his feet up here to the 28-yard line where he's going to be stopped. They're going to rule he got to the 29. So it'll be 1st and 10 UDA on the Trojan 29-yard line. See if we can get that offense cranked up here now. Eddie is in there. Marco will check out as Joe Clark will be at the fullback spot, and the tailback will be Twee Eddie. Now, Loesch looks them over, line them up. First play from the eye. Again, it's Eddie. This time, Eddie, had a good speed going. Got about 2. Hole opened up there momentarily for Twee, but then Panthers closed it up pretty quickly, and he picked up 3. It'll be second down and 7. Second down and 7, clock down 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining, and it's moving on down here now in the first quarter. Loesch hands this one off, and that one got to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Stopped in the backfield, loss of maybe 2 or so on the play, and will bring up a third down and 10.
The 30-yard line will bring up 3rd and 10 for the Trojans.
Third down and 10 now for UDA. Ball at the 30-yard line of Upper Dauphin. Clock down to 27 seconds. Loesch looking, fires one over the middle. It is intercepted by number 26. Down to the 30-yard line he goes, where he is tackled, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 30-yard line of UDA with 19 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. So the first pass, well, no, it wasn't the first pass. I don't think it was the second pass attempt by Matt, is kind of wobbly out there and picked off by the Panthers.
Yeah, that's good.
So the Panthers will get a chance to put this ball in play now with 19 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Then we'll change field positions here. So 1st and 10. Quarterback still has it. Or did he hand it off? No, I guess he did keep it. Yeah. Gets to the 29-yard line. As the clock winds down, there's a flag on the play, however, stopping the clock. No, the clock wouldn't stop. The clock kept going.
Flag on the play.
Hold everything. There should be about 9 seconds or so remaining on the clock. There was a flag on the play to stop the clock, but the clock did not stop. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the quarter is officially over on the clock, but they'll run one play because of the penalty. 1st and 15 now. First down 15 for Schuylkill Valley. Quarterback has it. Fires one over this way. It is complete and tackled out there nicely that time. 64 coming up to make the stop for UDA. Anthony Hoover making the stop. And that's going to do it as the quarter comes to an end. Fourth of the ball game is the Panthers on top now, 14-7. Okay, beginning the second quarter now. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. They're on the UDA 28-yard line. Korn is the quarterback. And Korn will run over this side here, keeping it. Up the middle he goes with it. Plenty of running room. Cuts it around the right side, down to the 10, and down to the 5, and down to maybe the 3 or 4. Zach the Ripper Smelts chasing him all the way down there to about the 3. It'll be 1st and goal for Schuylkill Valley on the UDA 4-yard line. They're going to say he went out. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 4. Schuylkill Valley turning on the offense here. And the Trojan defense could be in for a long night here if we don't try to stop these guys a little better. Korn hands this one off. Up the middle with it goes to. He's grabbed from behind, and the ball came loose, and Upper Dauphin has it. Upper Dauphin should have it. Twee Eddie. Nope, they're going to rule he was down. Eddie come up with the football, but they say he was down already. Down at the 2. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. 2nd and goal from the 2. Adam Dietrich, 54, checking into the middle of that UDA defensive line. 67 in there, Eric Sims. 63 is Alec Peters. Well, let's see what happens here. Can we keep him out? Quarterback sneak? No. Right up the middle. He submarines himself in there from 2 yards out and makes it a 20-7 ball game. Now with an extra point try coming up here for the Schuylkill Valley Panthers. Smith will once again try to split the uprights with this extra point try for the Panthers. Policeman's down. Kick is up. Kick is no good. I think it's off to the left. Looked like it was off to the left, and so it's a 20-7 score here now in the early going of the first half. Played 52 seconds into the second quarter here now, and the Panthers with a 20-7 lead. Once again, it's Eddie and Marco back deep to receive the kick for UDA. However, this Schuylkill Valley team wants to kick them low. And they hardly get back there unless they're a screaming line drive at either Twee or Austin. But let's see how he does this time. Here's the kick. It's a low kick, bounding around. Going to allow it to be tipped around down here to Eddie. Eddie has it at the 15, cuts his way upfield out to the 26-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, where the Trojans will put it in play there at the 26. Just outside the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 UD.
Do you agree with that?
First ball game of the season. A lot of young ball players on this Trojan football club. A lot of young fellows that need some experience. Need to go out there and get roughed up a little bit and understand that they're playing with the big boys now, and just going to take a little bit of time to get them acclimated, perhaps. Here we go. On a 1st and 10. Now let's see if Loesch can get some offensive stuff going this time. Up the middle with it goes Loesch. Loesch with a nice keeper and gains about 7 or 8. Penalty flag, however, thrown over here by the linesman, where generally somebody is lined up off sides or something. We'll see what the call is here in just a moment. It's going to be a legal procedure called against UDA. So that 8-yard scamper for Matt Loesch will be nullified, and the Panthers will take him back 5. Now we're set to go. First and 15 for UDA now. Trojans going to flood this side this time. Well, now we're a little confused out there. Now they're going to send. Now, wait a minute. Now we've got probably a delay or something not lined up right here. You can see there was a bit of confusion on that one. There was a bunch of guys dancing around out here trying to figure out exactly where the heck they were supposed to go. And so it's offsides called against UDA. Jeffries will check out of the ball game now as Clark returns to the huddle for UDA. Now it brings up a 1st and 20. So the Trojans going in reverse here now have the ball back at the UDA 15-yard line. Loesch has it, fires it over the other side. It is intercepted by number 64, and inside the 5 he goes with it down to maybe the 3. Well, the Panthers pick off their second interception, and that has the ball at the 5-yard line. Lineman gathering that one in after the ball was tipped around out there. So it's 1st and goal from the 5 for Schuylkill Valley. Quarterback still has it, and he is going to be racked up out there as Clark gets a hold of him and throws him down. He's got a yard or so in the play. It'll be 2nd and goal. Ball about the 3, really. So it'll be a gain of 2 on the play and bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 3. And timeout called by Korn. The quarterback Korn calls timeout. Okay, we got a 2nd and goal now following the Panther timeout. They're on about the 3-yard line of UDA. Pitches over here to 2. He'll cut it upfield and dives to the what? To the 1. No signal yet given by any official that he's been over. So down to the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1. Third and goal from the 1. So here we go. Let's see what we can do with this one. So can we hold him out? Quarterback gives it to that young fella. Wow, I don't know. Nope. did not get in yet. No indication. So it's going to be 4th and goal. So Smeltz and his buddies in there really stacking these guys up. I think Eddie might have been in helping on that one. So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Justin Hunsberger, 71 in there, along with that 63. Alec Peters. 4th down and 1. Quarterback wants to sneak it. Yeah, he does. Hey, did he roll in? Oh, he just rolled in. Just rolled in. They had him stop, but his body went forward, and he just fell in there. He's a senior and a smart ball player. He knew he was stopped. He needed a yard, and he just left himself fall forward, and that was enough. He's a pretty big kid. Only 5, let's see, what is he? 6'1", 180 pounds, this score sheet says. And now timeout, official timeout here for an equipment repair on a Panther. They're going to send number 2 out of there to get a helmet change, I think. It was official timeout. Might have got a strap missing or something. So he'll check out of the ball game as they go for the extra point try. Panthers will go for 2 this time rather than try to kick one. And the quarterback fires it over the middle. It is incomplete. Knocked out of there as Matt Loesch broke that play up for the UDA Trojans. And so we've got a 26-7 score now. Panthers way on top. 2 minutes 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's 26-7 Schuylkill Valley. Has it teed up here for the Panthers as the evening draws upon us here. Beautiful, beautiful evening for football. Hasn't turned out very beautifully for the Trojan Ball Club so far, but we're going to try and see what we can do. Here's Smith approaching the ball and kicking it. Another low line drive kick. They let it roll back here, picked up by Markle. Markle will try to take it upfield, and he runs all the way out here to about the 32 or 3 yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it'll be at the 33. It'll be 1st and 10 for UDA. Okay, 1st and 10, UDA. On their own 33 yard line. 2 sets in the backfield this time. This is going to come up the middle with it, and Clark will bring it out to the 35 yard line. Picking up about 2 or so on the play, maybe 3. Yep, give him 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 2nd down, 7. Clark at the fullback. Markle, the tailback. Handoff is to Markle. He gets about to the line of scrimmage, not a whole lot more, maybe a yard. 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6 for UDA. Well, is that the 38 yard line of the Trojans now? 3rd down and long 5, we'll say. Back the pass goes Loesch. Dumps one over this way, and it's nobody around over here, and it is incomplete. No one over here in the area where Matt fired that one. But anyway, it'll bring up a 4th down now. 4th down and punting situation for UD. 6:13 remaining here in the first half. And we're going to see if Jason Jeffries can punt it out of there. Jason, pretty good punter. He gets a good snap and gets a chance to get that ball away. Just generally lofts them pretty high and fairly deep. So see what he does with this one. It's a good snap and time to kick, and lofts it out here pretty nicely. Fair catch called for back here at the 31 yard line, and they'll spot it at the 32. Well, 1st and 10. Nice high kick by Jeffries that time. Good coverage for UD downfield, and they signaled for fair catch and made it. And so the Panthers will put it in play. 6:06 left here in the first half. So let's see now what we do with this 1st down play.
Quarterback
Looks like he wants to throw. Fires one downfield. It is complete to 89. He stiff arms one guy and then goes all the way down to the 47-yard line of Upper Dauphin, where it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers. 1st and 10 once again for the Panthers, and a timeout temporarily called here now as we have a couple of officials conferring out here. And dead ball, illegal substitution, too many men or whatever. Anyway, that'll march them back 5. Back to the 49-yard line of Schuylkill Valley. 1st down, 15 yards to go. First and 15. Motion comes over this way. Hand off and up the middle, goes nowhere that time. Trojans with a good stiff stop that time as he ran right into Zach the Ripper. And Zach Smeltz stopping him out there quickly. It'll be 2nd down and 15. No gain on the play. Robbie Motter helping out on that last stop for UDA also. Quarterback, he wants to throw. He's looking. Fires one way downfield here and out of the reach of number 2. And goes as an incompletion. And it'll bring up a 3rd down. Okay, on a 3rd down and 15. What are the Panthers going to do with this one? He'll hand it off. Up the middle he goes with it. A flag is thrown in there. Flag thrown inside there where a lot of times holding will show its ugly head. Against the Panthers this time, though, it'll go. And that's indeed what it is, holding against the Panthers. And so that's going to take them back 10 from the spot, which would make it a... Or will it bring up 4th down? Oh, wait. It's declined. Of course, that was the 3rd down play. What am I thinking? Okay, it was declined, and so the Trojans hold that time, and they will get the ball back here now with 5 minutes remaining, just under 5 minutes. Clock is moving. Mark Linetti will go back to receive this punt, either one of them. And now let's see if they're going to fake it or what are they going to do here. They're moving around here a little bit. Nope. Ooh, a low kind of a snap. Ball comes down this way, and it's going to be, well, it's going to be allowed to roll dead down at about the 13-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for UDA at the 14-yard line of UDA. 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here in the first half of the ball game. Okay, 1st and 10, UDA on their own 14-yard line. Loesch hands it off. Up the middle with it comes Eddie, and Eddie will drive it all the way out across the 20 to the 22, picking up just about 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down, and well, he's picked up 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. 2nd down from the 21 or so. This time they're not going to get much out of that one. Markle had it, but that hole was not there. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Here we come on a 3rd down and 2. Now the Trojans finding it difficult to get a 1st down here. Let's see if we can get one here. No, not that time. Nope. And the ball did come loose, but who has it? Oh, a fumble on the play, and the Panthers have it. So the Trojans dig themselves a deeper hole here now as they cough up the ball at the 22-yard line, or 23 maybe. And it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers with 3:03 left here in the first half of the ball game. First and 10 Panthers. Nothing doing that time now. Trojans gang tackle a Panther that time. making a good stop on him there. A whole host of Trojans, including that Tony Hoover, and also 59 in there for UD. Ryan Lungan's in there also on the stop on the last play. He's number 59 out there. Loss of a yard or so on the play. Second down. Fastest one over this way, complete. And he lost the ball. Picked up over here by Matt Loesch. Matt Loesch with some running room. Got some guys in hot pursuit. He's going to jump over one guy and then get tripped up down here. So Matt Loesch picking up that fumble. Carries the ball all the way back here to the 29-yard line. And that should spark the kids up here for the final 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the first half. Giving the Trojans a big lift there as Matt Loesch saw that ball bouncing around back there, picked it up and scooted all the way down to the UDA, or to the Panther 31-yard line. They spot it down at the 31. Made a nice leap along the sideline, did he not? Look good. Now if we could just do something here and get on the board here before halftime. 2:10 to work with. 31 yards away from pay dirt. Handoff is to Eddie, and Eddie is not going to make much out of that. Matter of fact, he's tackled in the backfield for a loss of 2 or 3. That'll bring up a second down and 11. Second and 11. Markle lines up as the tailback behind Clark this time for UDA. Ball is loose, but fouled upon by Markle, who was in the backfield yet. So ball is knocked out of Joe Clark's hand, and then Markle fell on it. So it'll bring up third down. Another loss on the play. It's 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15 now for UD, with 1:10 left here in the first half. And timeout called by the Panthers. Schuylkill Valley calls timeout. Okay, the Trojan time, or the Panther timeout is over. 1:09 left here in first half. Third down and about 15. Loesch will go back to throw. He's looking. Fires one over the middle, incomplete. I'm not sure who that was intended for. Might have been intended for Markle. He was in that pack, but I'm not sure. It'll bring up a fourth down, however, for the Trojans with 1:02 left here in the first half. Okay, here we go on a fourth down play now, which will end the offensive series for UD unless we can get 10. Or rather 15. In fact, the pass goes low. He's looking. Time this time. Fires one down this way. It is complete. That's complete to Markle for a first down, I think it is, or is he a little short? No, it was Jeffries, rather. Jeffries with the reception, and it's down to the 21-yard line, and they're going to be close enough to measure. Official says he will measure this one, and so we're going to see just how close the Trojans got to this. It's going to be awfully close, and we'll stand by and watch it. Well, now here's that measurement, and it shows that the Trojans are short by a couple of inches. Well, that's a tough break there for UD after that pass play to Jeffries was completed, and, well, just short by 3 or 4 inches. Well, they've got 54 seconds, do the Panthers of Schuylkill Valley now, to work here in the opening half of the ball game. They've already piled on 26 points, so we'll see if they like to go for some more as they go from the shotgun. Korn looking to throw. Fires one over the side. It is complete, but that's not a heck of a lot of gain on that play. Picked up about 2, 3, 4. Where the heck is he? You know, he picked up about 5. It'll be second down. Whoa, everybody left, but the center didn't snap the ball, so that'll take them back 5 as they try to hurry up and get a playoff here. 27 seconds remaining in the half, and this side of the offense of the Schuylkill Valley, they had 1 count, and the center apparently had another count, so they all took off. Here we go again. Let's stay back because they're obviously going to pass this one.
Going away from the shotgun formation, back to pass.
Throwing, fires one over our way, and it's going to be out of bounds and incomplete. And it'll be third down with 12 seconds remaining. So we got 12 ticks remaining here in the first half. And this time they'll try something other than a pass maybe. I mean, he's going to hand this one off. Up the middle with it comes 27. Still going and drives it all the way out here to the 37-yard line with 3 seconds to go. And that's going to do it, I think. They'll stop till they change the chains, and then that'll be it. And I'll put the ball in, or put the time in play here as soon as they get the chains marked. And with 1, 2, 3 seconds, that'll do it. So the time has expired here in the first half of our opening ball game here in the 2002 season. And the Trojans on the bitter end of a 26-7 score. But we'll be back here in a couple of seconds here for the second half of tonight's ball game. Well, we're just about set for the second half of this evening's ball game now. To begin the second half, the Panthers of Schuylkill Valley will be kicking off to the UDA Trojans. So the Trojans will get to try out their offense here as they took that opening fumble recovery and went about 35 yards or so, whatever it was, 40 yards, and got 7, but that was it. The offense then took the night off so far, so we'll see if they can't get it cranked up again here in the second half. 24 minutes to play, and we trail by 19. Smith again will kick off for the Panthers, and here it comes. This time he gets a good hard line drive kickoff received here at the 10-yard line by Marco. Hey, Marco still on his feet out at the 34-yard line. So about a 24-yard run back for Austin. And the Trojans will put it in play. 1st and 10 on their own 24. And 10 on the 34. I may have said 24 before. 24-yard run back, and 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Alec Peters, the center, centers it back here, and Loesch will keep this one. Get not much on that, as there is a 1-yard gain to the 35-yard line. Be 2nd and 9. All right, on 2nd down and 9. Matt Loesch looking him over. Throwing flat pass out here to Marco. Marco has it and gains some good yardage out here to the 45-yard line. Looks like it might be a 1st down. I think it is. So a good pass that time from Loesch to Marco, and Marco taking it down the side here nearest to us, and got himself a 1st down out of it. Picked up probably about 10 yards on the play. Ball at the 45-yard line of UDA. Single set in the backfield this time. 2 flankers out wide on the far side. All 3 out wide. Loesch fires one over on the far side. Incomplete. Matt got a big rush that time. Fired it before he was near set, and just kind of lofted that one out there into the area that one of the receivers were, but not close. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. 2nd down 10. Loesch wants to throw again. Sets up a screen. Pops one up in the air. Not sure what Matt's. He's getting a rush, and perhaps he's getting that ball tipped. I'm not sure, but he's just kind of floating it out there, and no one near that one. 3rd and 10. All right, we're bringing up a 3rd and 10 from the UD 45. Now he fires one over on the right side. It's complete. Caught out there by number 1. And it'll be 4th down and 3. 4th and 3. Eddie coming back in to the ball game. There's a young fella just made that reception. Just a little guy, but made a good catch. Gets congratulated by Coach Freilich. And now it's a 4th down, and the Trojans will go for it. Ball's on the 48-yard line of the Panthers. And hold everything now. We got penalty. It looks to me like I thought it was one of them offsides. Offside against them. Yeah, sure. The fella there was lined up. You could see him. Fellow, probably the right side tackle or whatever, was lined up. And that'll give the Trojans a 1st down without any effort. So now it's 1st and 10 now at the 43-yard line of the Panthers. 1st and 10. First and 10 from the Schuylkill Valley 43. Loesch has it, and he gets down to the 40. Number 1 in there was that Colin Klauser that caught that pass there a little bit ago. And I get my sheet turned over here and didn't recognize Colin. Here's a handoff and trying to go up the middle with it goes Eddie, is it? Yep. He gets maybe 2 out of that. Be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4, not 5. I disagree with the announcer. What do you think? Does that look equal distance between those 2 sticks? I don't think so. We'll make it 3rd and 4. Jimmy Enders, number 2. In the slot in the far side of the field. Up the middle with it goes Markle, was it? No, it was a joke. Yeah, it was Markle. 4th down and about 3. So the Trojans looking at another big play here now in a 4th down and 3. Robert Motter checking into the ball game. Number 18 for UD. Somebody got to do a little bit of blocking in here now this time. Justin Hunsberger, one of those linemen in there that might open a hole here. Quarterback has it. He's looking to throw. Fires one downfield, and it's going to be intercepted at about the 13. And he's going to be thrown out of bounds over here at the 30-yard line, or 31. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. So 1st and 10 as the ball gets turned over here now to the Panthers. And Korn, the quarterback, sends number 14 in motion. He rushes it around the right side. Got some good blocking out in front of him, still on his feet, and bumps all the way down here to the 48-yard line or 47-yard line of the Panthers. Big gain on the play, probably picking up 15 or so. And it'll bring up a 1st down rather, and 10 for the Panthers. Panthers are the 1st and 10 on their own 47. Up the middle, he dives down for 8 yards out to the Trojan 45-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and 2. On the Trojan 45. Now here's a flag thrown again. And we'll see what this is all about. It's going to go against the Panthers, and that'll set them back to the 50-yard line, and it'll be a 2nd down and 7 now. Okay, 2nd down and 7 now for the Panthers from the 50-yard line. Corn rolling back. He's looking. Fires one downfield. It is caught. It'll be shut just maybe shy of the first down. It's hard to tell. Jeffries on the coverage back there for UD. But it's going to be close to the first down. If not a first down, it is a first down. Okay. Referee signals it is a first down. So the young fella had that one measured pretty closely. He got out there and just got enough for the first down. First and 10, ball at the 43-yard line of UDA. Up the middle he goes down to the 39-yard line, picking up about 3 or so on the play. Good stop in there by Clark for UDA. 2nd and 7 now for the Panthers. Okay, let's see what they do on a 2nd and 7. See if the Trojans can stop them here. They have a single set in the back. 89 will go in motion. Quarterback has it. He fakes it, runs it around the right side, fakes the pitch back in there. And there's a penalty flag on that play, and there might be a ball loose out there, but we'll see how they rule this one. Penalty flag was thrown right around the time he was hit, or about that time. And official timeout here now. Holding will be called on the Panthers. And they're going to bring this one back, of course. Penalty brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 43-yard line of UDA. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from there. Here, fella comes around this side, fakes out a couple of Trojans, gets a good block, and runs it down here inside the 35 to the 34, where he is dropped in there by a couple of Trojans. Two a little slow getting up there. Might have got a whack on the leg or the shoe or whatever. I'm not sure. Might have even drawn a cramp. At any rate, picked up 9 yards on the play to be 3rd down and 1. Ball at the 34-yard line of Ubberdoffen. Got 3 minutes and a half, 3.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Trojans still trailing by that 26-7 score. And South Schuylkill with the Schuylkill Valley. Oh, there's a good hit as Matt Loesch comes in and levels quarterback Korn of the Panthers. Big hit the first time tonight. I believe that they were tackled in the backfield. Brought the ball all the way back to the 41-yard line now, where it'll be 4th down and 8. Well, the best defensive play of the ball game for the Trojans so far, you might think. And we'll see if they can stop them one more time here. It'll be 4th down and 8. And the way things have been going for the Panthers, they'll just go and try it here now. Neither team in the punting game anymore here now, as they both feel that they can, Panthers feel they can stop us, and they feel they can gain on us. So we'll see. Pass over the middle, complete to number 40, and he'll dive ahead, and enough for the first down. So the Trojans had him back here, but he struggled ahead and got himself a first down. So the Panthers thought they could do it, and they did. 1st and 10, Panthers on the 31-yard line of UDA. Okay, 1st and 10, Schuylkill Valley. Quarterback has it, pitches it over there to that 1-4, and he is dragged down out there as Clark comes up and makes a tackle. But there may be a flag. There is illegal motion on the Panthers. And so that will most likely cost them 5, although there was a 4-yard loss on the play. So the penalty is thus declined. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 or 14, whatever. Yeah, about 2nd and 14. So they'll see if they can do anything on the 2nd and 14. Throws a screen. It's complete. And he's going to be driven out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Markle coming over there and making a stop on him. And Pick gain of about 9 on the play,
Ball marked at the 27-yard.
or 8 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 7. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Panthers really eating up a lot of the clock. He wants to pass. Fires one complete to number 26. He'll take it down around the 20-yard line, where it'll be close to the first down. If it isn't a first down, it'll be very close. It is a first down. Ref signals it is a first down on the 20-yard line. So the Trojans again forced to really dig in here. First and 10 from the UDA 20. Korn rolling back, getting a rush, fires one over the middle. Almost intercepted as Zach the Ripper Smelts got a hand on that one, but couldn't quite bring it in. So it brings up a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 from the UDA 20. Korn to throw. Looking, you roll around the right side. Got some running room out here. He's down to the 10, but there's a flag thrown and a hold will be called a number 45 of the Panthers for sure. I think he got a hold, illegal use of the hands against the Panthers. So that run by that quarterback Korn is going to be nullified. So they'll bring it back. 2nd down and 15 now for the Panthers. Ball moved back to the 26-yard line of UDA. And that's going to do it as the quarter comes to an end. So we've got 3/4 of this ball game in the books. And the Trojans still trailing 26-7. Set to go now in the 4th and final period here at UDA as the Panthers approach the football. They're looking at a 2nd down and about 15 for the Panthers. Quarterback will hand it off, and up the middle with it. They go for not much gain, if anything at all, that time, as he ran into a couple of good Trojan tacklers that time. Loesch and Hoover in there again for UDA. Man down here for the Panthers. Looks like he might have gotten himself a Charlie horse or something like that. Yep, he's going to be okay, but boy, they hurt. And he'll limp off all right. Okay, it's still 3rd down and 15 now. No gain on the play.
But did I just get 10 yards, or did I do to where the ball would have been? Because I only did 10.
Here we go. 3rd down, 15. We'll stay really back this time. Oh, good smack by Joe Clark that time. You could see Joe coming right up in there, and man, did he ever nail him. A nice stop by Joe Clark that time for sure. Man. Big loss on the play. Back to the 36. It's 4th down to about 24. So this will be a punting situation. Even the Panthers aren't going to try this. 4th and 24. Good snap. And the kick will go down on the far side. It's going to be taken there by Markle. And he'll dive ahead here now to him near the 20-yard line, probably the 17 or 18. We'll see where they spot him. And it'll be 1st and 10 for UDA.
An injury on the sideline.
Markle shaken up in the play, coming off here. A little gimpy. Number 1, Klauser in there for UDA. Series here in the fourth quarter is Stephen Green. Stephen Green coming in. Ball on the 19-yard line of UDA. Well, as I said at the beginning of this game tonight, both Stephen and Matt Loesch showed a lot of promise throwing out at the Minersville scrimmage. And they're going to let Stephen probably fire one here. It looks as he goes into the shotgun formation. Gets a good snap. Looks to throw. And now he's going to have some running room, but he fires it outside and he completes it nicely out here to number 2 for the Trojans. Ball gets thrown out there to the 33-yard line. Jimmy Enders with the catch for UDA. And Clark will bring the play in here for the Trojans. Twietti checking out of the ball game for UDA. So it's a 1st and 10. And again, they'll go from the shotgun formation. Green has plenty of time to pass this time. Now he's going to rush around the right side. He's going to have to tuck this one away and go out of bounds over there. So it'll be 2nd down coming up. Markle in there for UDA now. The Trojans look to go to the air here. See if they can get a couple points on the board before this one's over. From the shotgun. Green gets the snap. Fires one down the right side. Incomplete. Intended for Austin Markle and right through his hands, I think. It looked like it just went right by Austin and goes as an incompletion. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Trojans not looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll spread them out, looking to throw. Green, plenty of time, fires one down the middle. It is incomplete. This time intended for Austin Markle, but some good coverage out there by the Panthers on that play. And Austin couldn't do much with that one, so it'll bring up a 4th down play for UDA. And Jeffries back to punt. Good snap. And a nice punt. Comes out here, taken at the 36-yard line. Up the middle he goes, still on his feet, and drags it all the way down to the Trojan 42-yard line. Nice run back for the Panthers. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Schuylkill Valley at the UDA 42. Okay, on a 1st down play, the Panthers from the UDA 42. Quarterback keeps it. And he probably shouldn't, as Matt Loesch come in there and knocked him down almost immediately. Good stop again by Matt Loesch for the UDA. Single tackle out there by Matt. And he gained a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 2nd and 9 now, looking at the Panthers. Ball at the 41-yard line of UDA. To throw, fires one over this way, incomplete. Intended for number 40 out here, but threw it by him and incomplete. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Okay, 3rd and 9 now for the Panthers as they go to the shotgun formation. They pitch it ahead here on a little shuffle play up front, and then he is going to get some yardage out of this. All the way down to the 10. Wow. That one there just stymied the Trojans for sure. Little shuffle play, just passed it right up. About a 4-yard pass on the play, I guess you might say. But anyway, the ball's all the way down to the 4-yard line of UDA, where it's 1st and goal from the 4, and timeout called by the Trojans.
Timeout, Trojans.
Okay. First and goal from the 4-yard line for the Panthers. He wants to throw it. And a big rush put on the quarterback, and he spins them all the way back here. Hunsberger coming in there with a big stop for UDA. Great play by Justin Hunsberger. Takes the ball all the way back to the 17, where it'll be second and goal from the 17.
Shoot somebody.
Up the middle he goes with it. 26, taking it down to about the 8. Maybe the 7. Be third and goal from the 7. Third and goal for the Panthers from the 7-yard line of UDA. 7.5 minutes remaining in this ball game. Quarterback pitches it back on a reverse. Going around the left side over here. Can he get in? Sure. Goes in on a razzle-dazzle play, and that's 6 more, which makes it 32-7. And an extra point try will be coming up here in a moment. Extra point try will be a kick attempt this time. And we'll see what he does with it. Nope, he's going to fake it, I guess. And they're going to try to run it. He's going to be tackled out here, as coming up to make the stop on him is Markle. And that will do it. So the score now 32-7. Schuylkill Valley on top of our boys tonight with 7:20 left here in the ball game. Well, Bernard Smith has it teed up for the Panthers again now as we get set to kick off to the Trojans. They have Markle and Twietti back there to receive this kick. And we'll see what kind of a kick it is this time. Last time they did boot it high. Previously they had hit those line drive kicks, so we'll see what they do with this one. It's a line driver. Bounces around back there, picked up by Markle. Markle's up to the 25, up to the 30, and drags them ahead here to the 33-yard line. First and 10 now for UDA on the Trojan 33. Green remains in there at the quarterback position. Matt Loesch will be a flanker on the near side of the field here for UDA. Matt with the flag or with the towel on. All right, and they'll go from the shotgun.
Yes. Thank you.
That's all 18 yards.
Green looking to throw, has time, fires one over this way. It is complete to number 32 Markle at the 40-yard line rather. Picked up 7, second down and 3. Okay, here we go on a 2nd and 3 from the shotgun. Green with time to throw. Fires one over the middle. It is going to be incomplete. Intended out here for Jeffries. But a lot of coverage on the play that time for the Panthers. And so Jason couldn't come up with that one. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3, they put Matt Loesch back in at quarterback, and wait a minute, something happened. Fumble on the play, and the Panthers have the football. So whatever play that was, it didn't work, and the Panthers take over on the UDA 40. 6:12 left in the ball game, and the Panthers in control of the football on the Trojan 40. First and 10 for Schuylkill Valley. The ball at the 28-yard line of the Trojans. This time he'll bounce up to the 25-yard line. Matt Loesch making a stop in there for UD. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Okay, on a 2nd and 7.
Go back there.
26 with it, down across the 20 to the 18. Looks like it could be a first down. We'll have to wait till the official gets up here and looks at it. He said, yep, it is a first down.
first down for the Panthers.
So they'll set the clock in motion. 4.5, but just 5 minutes. 5 minutes remaining, and inside 5 minutes now. 4:54 and so forth. Counting down. 1st and 10, Panthers. Horn hands it off. Up the middle goes 33. Plunges over the 15 or the 15-yard line, make it. And gets to the 13. Gain of 5 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. 2nd down and 5 for the Panthers. 33 again with it, and he is going to dive down. Did he get over? Nope, not quite.
That would be a whole lot, Coach.
Danny Ryan on the carry for the Panthers.
Where were they and subtract the 1?
All the way down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for Schuylkill Valley now with 3:52 left.
Down on that.
1st and goal from the 1. Trojan or the Panthers looking to put their 38th point on here. 33 has it, and he gets in for a touchdown. So it's now 38-7 with 3:27 left here in the ball game. Schuylkill Valley will attempt to kick the extra point. And here it comes. Snap is good. Placement's down. Kick is blocked. Low kick, and they blocked it. So
The point is no good.
the score with 3:27 left here in the ball game. It's now 38-7 Schuylkill Valley. Again, the Schuylkill Valley Panthers ready to kick it off. This is that Bernard Smith again, ready to kick for Panther Valley. And here comes that kick. It's a line drive type kick. Going to be picked up here by Markle. And he'll try to carry it upfield as far as he can go. And this time he got out to the 29-yard line, close to the 30, about the 29. It'll be 1st and 10 for UDA on their own 29-yard line. Okay, 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Yeah, just takes me 4 hours.
From the shotgun they go. Back to pass goes Green. Now he's going to tuck it away. No, he's going to fire it out here. It's incomplete, intercepted, tipped up in the air by 45, and he'll go for 6. Well, it looks so easy sometimes when things are going the other way, and this game is going the other way from about the first opening moments of the first quarter as the Trojans scored first, and then that was it. So it's now 44-7, and another extra point try coming up here for Schuylkill Valley. So that's a tough break there for the Trojans. Went off the receiver, popped up in the air, and twice tonight now the Schuylkill Valley boys were alert enough to be able to pick that off. This is the first time they ran it back, but anyway, another low kick, very low kick that time. So the score now with 3:07 remaining. It's 44-7.
No, he doesn't. Let me just do this. Wait, every time we get caught.
Seems like we just done this a moment ago, doesn't it? Well, it's true. Here we go again. Another kickoff and another run back, and let's see if we can get a good run back this time. Here it comes. It's a low kick going over on Markle's side, and it's going to roll all the way by him and into the end zone for a touchback. Markle touched it in the end zone, and so it'll be brought out to the 20 where the Trojans will put it in play with 3 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the ball game. Stephen Green gets the try again here as we go to the final 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the ball game. A timeout called by the Panthers, I think he said. Okay, the Trojans are set to go. Perhaps their last chance tonight to get on the board. 2 minutes, 48 seconds. Well, to put 7 more on, 2:48 remaining. Loesch in the shotgun formation. He's got it. He'll throw a screen over on his side. It is complete. Markle's got it. Markle dashes it down the sidelines here. And tripped up by number 33. Andrew Wainwright got a hand on him and tripped him up. Oh, man. Heck of a try that time by that young Austin Marco. He was picking up speed and gaining momentum there, and that young Wainwright, I think, or Wainyard, something like that, tripped him up. Huh. Anyway, the ball is out to the 48-yard line of UDA, where it'll be first down, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, and 17 and so forth remaining here. Again from the shotgun, and again, Green to throw. Whoa, low snap that time. He'll pick it up, still has some time. Still looking, fires one downfield here. It is incomplete. Intended out here for Loesch, I think. Yep. Threw that in a little low, throwing it on the run there, and after he picked up that kind of a low snap. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Stops the clock. No, it didn't stop the clock. Okay, the mercy rule in effect here now. So the clock does not stop on the incompletions. Continues to run, minute and a half remaining right now. Minute and a half left. So a chance for another couple of plays maybe. It's 2nd and 10. Got some running room, and fires it incomplete. But that just does not stop the clock. Now we're down to 1 minute and 9 seconds. So that will leave room for maybe one more play. Down to 40 seconds now, and inside of 40. 3rd down, 10. Green looking to see if he gets time to air one out here, perhaps, because even going out of bounds won't stop the clock. Here he comes. He eludes the rusher, fires one down the field. There's a man out here slow. Show a little bit of interference. No? No, looked like Mike got run over out there. So that'll do it now, as the clock will wind it down here now, and the Trojans will drop their first one here to the Schuylkill Valley Panthers by a final score of 44-7. So Schuylkill Valley coming in here tonight and not treating the Trojans real well, as they put a 44-7 blistering on our Trojan boys, and the Trojans will have to regroup now for next week's ball game down at arch rival Millersburg, who defeated the Trojans last year by just 2 points, 14-12. So I don't know what kind of team the Millersburg Indians have, but we're going to find out next week, and we'll hope that the Trojans can pick it up now and really practice hard this week and come back and give those Millersburg Indians a good game. In the meantime, we congratulate the Panthers, who had one heck of a good squad out here, took advantage of a lot of Trojan turnovers, and just really put them away early after the Trojans had